Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining me again. Well, the season is definitely changing, I think. The snowdrops in my garden are starting to go over. The crocuses and the daffodils and even the odd hyacinth are taking over. And I am beginning to plant some of the earliest and hardiest of the seeds in my greenhouse. And so, before all the snowdrops disappear, I want to read you someone else's words about them. This comes from a book that I've been rereading recently, and it's called Moth Snowstorm by Michael McCarthy. He says this about snowdrops. I can think of nothing more extraordinary and exceptional than the annual rebirth of the world. And in fact, there are a number of specific markers of the rebirth, of the Earth's awakening after winter. Dates in the natural calendar, if you like, which for me are occasions of joy and which I celebrate in my heart. The first of them is the appearance of snowdrops. Once called Candlemas bells, it's not hard to imagine what pleasure must have been taken in gathering them or merely having them growing by the church for the day of Candlemas itself. And even now, although you can find great swathes of snowdrops in woodlands or along river valley floors, especially in the West Country, stirring sights, whole sheets of blooms turning the ground white in all directions, nature with all its flags flying. Many of our best displays of snowdrops are still associated with faith, clustering around churchyards and ancient religious foundations, ruined abbeys and priories, where hundreds of years ago they were planted with Candlemas in mind. All of this has greatly drawn me to them, yet even more than their delicate beauty, more than the traditions which cluster around them, I am most taken with the timing of their appearance, with their place at the start of the calendar, above all with the first sight of them in any given winter. I can remember, for example, a walk with my children a few years ago through a wood on an icy late January day, and the path through the bare trees took a turn, and suddenly there they were, the first of them, a small clump poking through the leaf litter, a small splash of brilliant white on the woodland floor's dull brown canvas, and I smiled at once, as if suddenly meeting an old friend. "Hi, how are you?" I was filled with emotion. I was filled with joy, I would say now. I wasn't quite sure then why the feeling was so strong, but that evening I sat down and worked it out. Here was the earth, still firmly under the lock and key of winter. Here was I, huddled inside my coat, adjusted to the cold, hard season as if it would last forever. And here were they, the first visible sign of something else. They were the unexpected but undeniable notice that the warm days would come again. And I realized what it was that made me smile. Here, against the dead tones of the winter woodland floor, was hope, suddenly and unmistakably manifest in white. Maybe I should have read that back in January, but as I've just come across it again recently, I thought I'd share it with you this evening. So as ever, I'm going to finish with a prayer. And as ever, if you'd like to make it yours, feel free to stick an amen in the comments. Creator God, thank you for the signs of hope that we see, particularly at this time of year, as your natural world starts to come to life once again. Amen. Thank you for joining me. See you again tomorrow, I hope. Bye for now.